My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Okay, so today is January 20th, 2023. It is 6:20 p.m. Um, I wasn't supposed to be recording right now, but my husband went to a game to watch my son play. My youngest doesn't want to go, and the game is a bit far away from the house, so I didn't want to go and leave my youngest here by himself. He could stay by himself, but I didn't want if there's an emergency and we have to drive and it's too far. So I was like, you know what, I'll stay and just chill. And I'm using my husband's headphone. Hopefully it works well. I did try it. I did a test recording and I did hear my voice pretty well, so I hope this one does not giving any problem. Alright, so anyone who's probably popping on this channel for the first time listening to this video is that from my other channel I just read some of the comments. I try my best to read some of the comments and then respond back to the issues that went on with my other channel. My other channel is still my primary channel, but right now it's going through some stuff. I'm giving it at least 30 days and then resubmit myself to the monetization program, and then if I get accepted I'll go back to the other channel. This one is my backup channel. Alright, so let's go on Twitter and see what's going on. Alright, I have this video. I didn't listen to it yet, but it was part of my list. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tweets to share with you. Okay, so let's get started. Drag him. Prince William will not comment because he himself is racist. Okay, for me, Prince William should be making a comment or even considering his position. Ex-cricketer Azim Rafiq, sorry if I pronounce his name wrong, Razim Rafiq says, as president of the FA, Prince William needs to speak out about the conclusion of John Yem's racist comment. Okay, so who is John Hems or Yems or Yims? Okay, who is that? Probably a player. Let's see. Who is John? Oops, John Yems. Okay, who is he? John Yem was giving a get out of jail free card over racism by FA panel. Okay, so he said something. Backlash follows fighting that soccer manager who used offensive racist. Okay, so it was about a couple days ago. Okay, John Yen hits back over racism ban, apologize. Should be a former Paul manager. John Yems believe he is on an apology despite having committed 12 aggravated breach of football. Oh my God, he did all of that and he's requesting. That's a Guardian article. Okay, I'll leave this link in the description. The former Quali manager John Yems believes he is, quote, owed an apology despite having committed 12 aggravated breaches of Football Association rules on discrimination. Yems was found by an independent FA panel to have called players in his squad curry munchers, terrorists, what the hell, and Zulu warriors among a range of slurs, and ban him from football until June 2024. What in the name? In a repentant interview on TalkSport on Thursday, however, Yems downplayed the seriousness of the charges he faced and insinuating the original complaint had been manufactured by players with grievances against him. So why did those things come out of his mouth in the first place? So now he did the assault verbally, whatever he said, Okay, now he's asking he owed an apology. Oh my God, the audacity of these people. Alright, the link of this article will be in the description. It was not planned, but I wanted to know who he was and what he said. So this is the background of this. This is what happened when I don't listen to the videos first. And when I'm recording, I like to share with you my initial reaction. So now we know the foundation of this. Okay, so let's get started. Let's listen to it. It's 1 minute and 32 seconds. I will stop in between. All right.
I wonder if it will cause problems for Prince William, and by that I mean, given what's gone on previously with the royal family and Harry and Meghan and Lady Susan Hussey and all of those stories, whether he will look at his role as president of the FA and think, well, I'm sitting at the top of this, and this is what these men have said. I presume mostly men in the FA. I might be wrong, but this is what these people have said about this incident or series of incidents, and he has to stand by them and be shoulder to shoulder with them as a colleague, essentially, doesn't he, as president? Do you think he should act?
Well, I mean, this
what was it? Couple years ago, not too long ago, something happened with the Football Association, where at the height of all the racism thing that was going on, something happened. I don't remember the exact issue, but he put out a statement and people were a little bit furious because there's this thing going on in his own household with Harry and Meghan, but he wasn't able to stand up, speak up on behalf of Meghan and Harry, but he was able to say something regarding the Football Association, the players or something like that. So this is somewhat, in my humble opinion, somewhat parallel in the same boat, but let's listen to this guy. I'm moving it back slightly. Hopefully it records.
Well, I mean, this, as it's been said, look, if you don't act, silence is actually accepting it. As a leader of that organization, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to make it clear where you stand on the issue. Like I said, I feel like the FA should be apologizing for that conclusion and then appealing against it. Obviously people's things are, well, the bans happen, but it's not just about the ban, it's the language. And for me, I think Prince William should be making a comment or even considering his position, because standing shoulder to shoulder in this situation with an organization that thinks some of that language that you've said is banter in any way, I think it's a scary place to be.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Azim, and I wish you well.
But I don't know. I think Harry is truly a leader. He knows how to take charge of certain things, and he always seems to have the right tone, mood, and what to say in situation like this. But I don't think William is capable of managing all those very important things that they're giving him. But whatever. There's no comment. Okay, no comment on this, but maybe in here, because that was a retweet. Okay, really can't afford to speak up. He will be going against his racist, divisive sycophants and Muppet masters at Fleet Street. Prince William, The Time, Daily Mail, yeah. Okay, how can Willie speak out when he is part of the problem? The man mocked the Asian Uber food delivery driver along with a Southgate and company, suggesting he should be patted down at the gate of KP, assuming he was a terrorist. Question Archie Scholar. I know what this person is making reference to, because there were, I think, some guys, either a podcast or something, but it was televised. I think I remember seeing that video back then, and this sort of this communication went on. And he was laughing about it. Okay, yeah, right. William is part of the problem, a fraud and a racist. Let's see here. Come on, what's going on now? Okay, this one is not clicking it. Or did my thing just pause or froze? Oh, there it is. Okay, Prince William's awkward laugh after Villa footballer is stopped by the police. I don't know, the thing they put in his head. Prince William has renewed his attack on population growth in Africa, blaming it for destroying wildlife on the continent. He just needs to stop going in that continent because it's none of his business. You just need to stop going there. Don't make Africa part of your problem. focus on what's going on in the UK. Prince William then even speak out against racism for his 2-day-old baby nephew. When has he ever taken any stance against racism? The man's not even a good brother. Lower your expectations of him. Of course, Harry would have spoken up, but he got one off. Yeah, that's what I think too. Okay, William should never again speak about race or mental health. In case no one has noticed, he is a bit of a lie. He is actually part of the problem. He put people into mental institution. Okay, look how easily he was able to call his mother paranoid.
Lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother. Made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia.
Forgetting the fact that the people around Princess Diana was rooting against her. And the people who was causing Princess Diana pain, he just let it fly. Okay, he is truly a baggage for God. Good luck with that. William can even defend his own nephew. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. There's more comment, but let's see. I think it's a video as well. Okay, January 2013, Harry was asked about being an uncle and his time in Afghanistan. Spare Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry interview, spare by Prince Harry. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Let's
you spoke about how much you were looking forward to becoming an uncle. Did that give you cause to reflect on your own destiny? That, of course, when that child is born, you go from being third in line to the throne to fourth in line.
God, forget us being away for 4.5 months. You forget what happens in the news. I haven't really had time to think about.
He forgot what happened in the news because he's been so far away from these people, but they sort of keep him up to date now.
That at all. I've literally just come off the plane. I'm longing to see my brother and sister-in-law, as any other soldiers just come off the plane 4.5 months away. I really am longing to catch up with people. Behind closed doors. You guys aren't invited.
Of course. And you did speak about your relationship with the press when you were out in Afghanistan. When it became public that you were coming home, almost universally the front page headlines were, "I've killed Taliban, says Harry." Is that what happened?
Is that what happened? I think, you know, for the thousands of guys that are on operations at the moment, we're continuing essentially to try and do a job for ourselves, a job for the guys left and right of us, and from my point of view, especially for the guys on the ground. We are supporting the Afghan people, we're supporting the Afghan army. The way that things are going are fantastic. I suppose that sounds like the typical MOD army answer, but it's true. As I said, the difference between 2006 and now is absolutely fantastic. You know, you get asked to do things you get asked to do things that you'd expect to do wearing this uniform, and that's as simple as that, really.
His narrative always the same. He never changed his narrative, and he's right. He knows exactly what to say at the moment.
I was struck by you saying that your friends in the city send you pictures of their desks, and you say your desk is your Apache. I suppose people would say that their lives are fairly straightforward and normal. Is there part of you that would like that normal life?
I'd never want to be stuck behind a computer desk in the city, if that's the question. Yeah, I don't know where you had that from. I must have said something I shouldn't have done. Yeah, you know, the normal for me, I don't know what normal is anymore. I never really have done, but you know, there are three parts of me. One, obviously wearing the uniform, one being the Prince Harry, and then the other one, which is sort of the private behind closed doors kind of stuff. But
there's the thing, he differentiates all of this. I've said this so many times. You have to take all those layers apart, and he just explained. This is the first time I'm listening to this video. Yeah, there's a part, him wearing that uniform, and him as a private citizen, and him as Prince Harry. But the tabloid, the British media, they convert everything into one, and they want to interfere in all of that. But Harry wants to give them that differentiation. The private part stays private, and they even send those British press in Afghanistan to still talk to him. I don't understand why they did that, but let's listen. I know here, I don't think he's in Afghanistan, but I'm just saying there's another video I came across where he was sitting. There was a helicopter behind him during the interview. Something was happening and he had to rush. So that's what in my mind as I was saying what I said.
you know, there's nothing normal about what we've been doing for the last 4.5 months. There's nothing normal about what's going on out there. Christ, in the last day that I was there, a 7-year-old girl got shot down by the insurgents.
Wow. Wow. The last time he was there, a 7-year-old got shot by the insurgent. My goodness.
You spoke.
And this is why, you know, he was doing what he did. And they turned the thing completely 360. And they only highlight something that he said. He wasn't even sure that he said it. Okay, another really bad reporter spinning the idea of ranking to the throne. Harry had said nobody wants to be king, list of all of him, as if he be threatened by a baby's birth. Harry celebrate his brother in ways that were sadly never reciprocated by the spoiled egg. Okay, wow, I never saw this before. Why then ITV or Chris Taliban? Chris Taliban just pulled these interviews. Instead, they literally consulted the enemy against US NATO soldiers. When will NATO sanction ITV for treason? My goodness, I didn't see that. I've heard a lot of squad talk about it, where they even bring Taliban to talk against Harry, because they claim he said he killed 25 Taliban or whatever. They turn everything that he said in the book on 360. But my God, this is sad. Okay, let's read what's there and then move on. Okay, I think the UK media has a comprehension problem. Harry was always clear at where he stood with the media, who he is and what he is passionate about. There's Prince Harry, military guy, and there's Private Harry. This is what I said too. He's been saying this for years, but act like it's new. Okay, Harry is consistent. He is an amazing war vet, lovely prince, and kind human. Okay, and remember, Toby replied that he was already an uncle when King Archie was born. Harry was thrilled when his nephew and niece were born. I don't know. I really don't know what goes on in this guy's head. Meaning, William. Where's the rest of it? I mean, this is a snippet of what was said. One thing about Prince Harry, he is consistent. Okay, his voice just like that of Princess Diana. Okay, let's go to the next tweet. There's more comment, but I'm moving on. Okay, my favorite genre is when people in their hate bubbles are constantly surprised that Harry and Meghan are successful. They hype each other up that the Sussexes are miserable and failing, and then melt down when when every single project they do succeeds. All right, let's see here. Why is Harry's book selling so well? I mean, I don't understand. Why will they even type this? It's being reported that this awful memoir has sold 1.5 million copies to date, and that it's the best-selling non-fiction book of all time. Is this true? I'm having trouble believing it. They told themselves nonsense, and then when reality strikes, they don't believe it. My goodness, could someone please explain why, how, was it Archetypes is still on Spotify's top 5? I don't understand how, especially after the break for the Queen's death. No, I did not edit photo out. It thankfully just came out that way. The snooze cast resumed October 4th. When was that? Okay, 114 days. Okay, and now it's suddenly #1 in the US. I don't necessarily think Netflix is always 100% honest about these rankings. I mean, why would they lie about that? Because there's other shows that they are streaming on Netflix. Why would they lie about something like that? Okay, I'm sad to report that the Colbert interview is landing very well with the public. Multiple people are calling him charming and funny. I'm so mad he's using therapy speak to hide he and Meg's narcissist. Whatever. Reality doesn't exist to these people. Okay? What makes it funnier is they all bought it and they all read it, but they still don't understand why it's doing so well. That's the thing. They bought it. They bought the book. The way they are literally looking to purchase any crumbs of Harry and Meghan's content, anything with even a sentence mentioning them. Let's see here. Books on Harry and Meghan. Okay, what are some books about them? I don't mean books fully them as subject, example, Finding Freedom, Revenge, etc., but also the books which talk about them even in one chapter, even with context about others. Today I found out there were some tidbits about Meghan in a recent books about Queen. Haven't read it yet, so this is the thing. They know they don't like her, but they still want to read it. And this is what those haters, who is talking negative about Meghan and Harry are profiting off. So is there any books about William or Catherine or Charles or Camilla or anyone which talks about Meghan? Please share. Books are already read. This must be a parody. This cannot be true. Okay? Okay, these I don't want to mention this to publicize it for her. Okay, let's read some of the comment and then move on. Okay, I think it's hilarious when they start on the hashtag Markle. Everything they touch is instant gold. What company or organization wouldn't want to be Markled? Their faves lost like 3 whole Caribbean nations during their charm offensive tour and still have the audacity to use the word Markled. There's the rolling eye. Okay. Oh, that's the first time I have that much like. I forgot I responded to that 9 hours ago. I know, right? It's always the same exact meltdown. I'm like, why are you shocked? They drink each other's Kool-Aid. Okay. Let's see here. They make up lies and believe them, and when Harry and Meghan life doesn't go their way, they blame them for lying, manipulating, or buying others. Make it make sense. You don't believe the Netflix docu, but you believe the Sun and Express. At this point, it's the case of psychiatric ward. Psychiatric ward. Okay, what also funny is they don't think they're in the hate bubble because royal correspondent use terms like the public and the people when they espouse their negative views. They try to convince their readers that their views are widely held when they are the minority. Yeah, that's exactly that. And I think I brought this up in one of my videos. When they use those terms, this could have worked back then when there was no social media, when it was only the paper, when you're the only one sitting or your family sitting at the kitchen table eating your breakfast, you reading the thing and not sharing whatever the information you just read on the paper with someone else. So that mindset was kept within you. Meanwhile, majority of other people were reading it. So with social media, what happened is that when something negative is said or positive, whichever way it is, look how I'm sharing with you what's going on Twitter, and many of those people on Twitter are millions and thousands of miles away, and we're sharing the same conversation. So people are debunking each other's misconception of things. So now these type of things don't work anymore, but some people still eat, sleep, and buy the nonsense, whatever the paper says. And this is what the Murdoch people, the people who pretty much hijack medias, the TVs, the radios, the newspapers, you name it, they hijack it to make it seems like it's the majority that's speaking in that same term, when in fact it's not. And this is why they cannot be very successful with their objective, because people are talking. Especially there are a group of people who are in the same, I would say, in the same sort of platform, I would say. Let's say, for instance, there are different journalists who's reporting on, let's say, the president. Okay, some groups are there to misrepresent the president's voice, and there are some who's there to tell exactly what's there. So when we capture those who are saying exactly what's there, and we see the action of the president matches whichever reporters is telling the facts, we tend to sort of align with that, and people spread the truth a little bit more. I hope I make sense with that. But pretty much the old ways of the newspapers don't work, and many of these people still attached to that. The ones who, the minorities who still drinking the Kool-Aid, still believe the papers, when in fact the papers pretty much are for the elite, and then they want to poison the rest of the people's mind, and people are not buying it. And another thing I have to bring, and I think I brought it up before, where they try to create their own platform. You know, the haters, the negative mindset people, they try to create their own platform when they can get traction on Twitter, or before Twitter was bought by that guy. They tried to make a platform for themselves, but people were not going there because it was too negative. So what they do now, the other platforms that's already established, that has a lot of people, like Twitter, which was sold and bought by that guy, what's his name, I can't think of his name right now, Elon Musk, right? And they try to poison it, but it's still not working. Look at this, I'm still on Twitter. When he first bought it, a lot of things were going on trying to sabotage Twitter in a way for the negative narrative to penetrate to everybody else's, but it still didn't work because people see the truth. I don't know, I hope I make sense with that. Alright, so let me finish with some of this. Okay, that's that. What's also funny is they don't think they're in the hate bubble, because royal correspondent used term like, okay, that's the one that made me say some of the thing that I just said. Alright, I read it already. I'm told some bought several copies of Spare and filmed themselves burning them. Yep, I think it's in one of my videos. I share that with you. And I actually respond to them and I say, go back and buy some more to burn. Okay, they burn their money to prove to the world the intensity of their hatred with the success of the Sussexes. Some of these derangers should be placed in a suicide watch. I have absolutely no doubt that this is exactly what Willie and Keen are asking their fluffer Jason. Okay, it's interesting looking at the comments, because here are individuals who have believed one narrative, then they can't understand why evidence doesn't back up the narrative. It's like telling a child Santa doesn't exist, the enemy is the truth, not the author of the narrative. The last one says, I love it. Alright, let's go to the next one. Oh my god, I'm already 26 minutes. Next tweet. Okay. William played right along and demeaning Harry. He told stories about having to clean up after Harry and of Harry raiding his fridge. Yeah, I remember in one particular video he said that. That was an old video, long time ago. I don't think I saw it. Did I see it on the internet? I don't know, could be, but I think it's something I saw a long time ago. Cool. Alright, all of this was a lie to make Harry seem like a lazy squander and make Will appear to be the responsible and mature brother. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that when he said that, that's the thing that came in my mind when he said it. Not knowing the abuse that Harry was going through. Alright, I'll get into that with the Harry being abused. Okay, because I wrote something on my and someone I was responding to on one of my videos. Okay, they never invited Harry into their house. William is trying to make it look like they spent time together like regular brothers, lol. William and Harry did live together for a short time while they were doing some military training. Well, that's not the same if they don't live. Well, I would say when they were kids, you know, with Princess Diana alive and all of that, yeah, but after that they went their separate ways. In a way, I don't know, it's good because that got Harry to be able to experience things. And the thing with the Harry being abused, if they had leave Meghan alone, we would not see through the BS the palace was doing to Harry. Okay, at the same time, this does not mean Meghan should have experienced the abuse that she experienced. Okay, take that aside. But the fact that Meghan was publicly humiliated worldwide, we got to see what Harry had to put up with. Why do I say that? The thing is that they never treated Harry fairly. They never treated Harry with respect, including the people who works for the firm. So they never really think of Harry as someone to be respected. Okay, so when Harry was gonna marry Meghan, and the same kind of treatment they imposed on Harry easily carried over to Meghan. But the thing is that Meghan, thank God and thank God and thank God so many ways, Meghan knows herself she wasn't putting up with this nonsense. Okay, and that with the world watching what was going on, and then the royal family keep their mouth shut, don't say a damn thing, it exposes them to the mistreatment of so many other things. And one, and specifically, not only Meghan, like I said, we're gonna take that apart, but with Harry. So if they had respected Harry from the get-go, Meghan would not have gone through that sort of public humiliation. That's another thing we need to take away from that. So they never really respected Harry. because you see his own brother, the way he treated Harry, even in interviews. Don't even show any respect for Harry. Don't even give Harry the time to explain his thought when question was asked to Harry and all of that. So you could see why Meghan went to that aspect, and that also helped Harry to open his eyes, because he got immune to the abuse. He didn't see it any other way until Meghan was the one being mistreated. I hope I make sense with that. One of my comments, I wrote it. I don't know if I'm gonna find it, so I'm not even gonna search for it. So I sort of explained that. All right, let's read some of these. Yeah, Harry can get a word in while William laughs about his laziness and snoring. Harry says lies and mentioned that, oh, now we are sharing beds. Harry talks about this in his book. All right, after reading Spare, you can see what Prince Harry was talking about in this video. Look at how his energy just get drained by William trying to one-up him for no good reason. Thank goodness he's out of that toxic environment. Yeah, like I said, Meghan opened his eyes. I don't think he saw this as it was just another day. Okay, because since he was a child, they let him know that he is a spare, and they treated him like so. And then when he find that, you know, the love of his life, and he saw the vibrant Meghan was being drained in front of his eyes, he had to say something, and that opened his eyes. Okay, let's see here. Let's play that. It's 1 minute and 51 seconds. I will have to stop in between, and I think I played it already in one of my videos. Let's listen.
This is possibly the last time you'll be living together.
First and last time we'll be living together.
It's been a fairly emotional experience. Yeah.
How much do you say?
Oh my God, I see what just happened here. The reporter start the question about the living together. Harry put a stop to it in a way, but William carried it on. So there's possibility. I can't believe I didn't see that before, because I played this video before. There's a possibility that William already knew what was gonna be asked, because he's buddy with those British press. So he continued, he took it along with and continued the narrative. But Harry put a stop to it. I'm gonna start it all over again.
Quite a special moment for you, isn't it? This is possibly the last time you'll be living together.
There it is.
First and last time we'll be living together.
It's been a fairly emotional experience. Yeah.
How much interservice rivalry is there between you two?
None at all.
No, not at all really.
And everyone knows the army.
I'm an Hackstock cavalry boy anyway, so it's fine. There's
talk
good
so.
bands between army pilots and RRF pilots obviously as well. And the naval pilots just in the background, they didn't do anything, so it's fine.
I talk over it, so I'm rewinding a little bit.
Everyone knows the army.
I'm an Hackstock cavalry boy anyway, so it's fine. There's good bands between army pilots and the RRF pilots obviously as well. And the naval pilots just in the background, they didn't do anything, so it's fine.
And would you live together again? Is much experience being the same?
Well, bear in mind I cook him and feed him basically every day. I think he's done rather well.
Cook him and feed him. Then this week, this video was done a while back, but this week he went to one of those charities and they were talking about cooking. Oh my God, these people tell so much lie they can't even keep up with their own lies. Look at Harry's face knowing that he's lying.
Well,
I told you the other week that he did all the washing up.
he does do a bit of the washing up, then he leaves most of it in the sink and then it comes back in the morning and I have to wash it up.
Oh, the lies.
Yeah,
There he is, he's saying the lies.
Do you end up finding yourself tidying up after him, or?
yeah, a fair bit of tidying. He snores a lot as well, keeps me out all night long. Not good
I think we're showing a better.
no, I think that's very important we say that.
And it's somebody's birthday on Sunday.
You hear him? That's very important we said that. Oh my God, this guy is a freaking idiot. To make his talking point to be on the record, but it's a full book BS.
We're showing a better.
I think that's very important we say that.
And it's somebody's birthday on Sunday. Are you a bit nervous? Any presents you want your brother to get for you?
Basically, he's probably only literally just realised that you said that now and hasn't got me a present, but I wouldn't expect anything else anyway. I'll be lucky to get a card.
You know what that just remind me? Where he and Catherine were upset they didn't get any Easter present. I'm like, what the F? But anyway.
Yeah, very well, Rebecca. It's been I've moved off from the school because now being a far superior RF pilot, I've now moved on to the Griffin, and it's good fun. You know, I've got more of a crew atmosphere, so I've got guys in the back, and it's really good. You're flying along, you get these random voices coming in your ear that you can't even see, and you've got to sort of respond. Yeah, exactly. They're usually hanging off a skid. Yeah, just random voices. Yeah. But no, it's good fun. It's quite a long way to go yet before I'm finished, but I'm looking forward to the challenge
Look at Harry's face. He just let the other one blab his lies away.
ahead and flying. But to me, I didn't join the forces to be, like I said, alongside before, mollycoddled or treated any different. And as far as I'm concerned, in my eyes, if Harry can do it, then I can do it. I don't really separate us in that much difference. And I think as a future head of the armed forces, it's really important that I at least get the opportunity to be credible and to do the job that I signed up for and to do the best I can. And that's all I wanted to do. And the search and rescue role is now, slightly different. So obviously being able to go to Afghanistan.
Man, this guy loves to listen to himself talk. Look at Harry, just let him say his BS.
Still doing an important job, and I hope that it's a step in the right direction exactly for the future.
Oh my god. Alright, yep, and even here Harry was being a supportive brother. Sound like William was airing dirty laundry about Harry, but there was none. It was full BS. Even Harry said the lies. Alright, next to it. Okay, reading spare. You once again get the sense that so much of this could have been avoided if there had been actual roles created for William and Harry within the firm. William was left to 12. William was left to 12. William was left to 12. Reading spare. You once again get the sense that so much of this could have been avoided if there had been actual roles created for William and Harry within the firm. William was left to twirl in the wind as the future, and they didn't give a F about Harry until they needed him. Yeah, like I was saying before. Let's see here. Oh, I respond to it. 15 people like it. Okay, with role come expectation, the process of learning. Harry eventually stumbled into some kind of structure through the military. William did not. And this is why sometimes I said they pretty much shape Harry's future each time, and Harry is a very smart man, despite the fact that the hardship he was going through, but he was paying attention not only to reality, to the things that was going on with him, and each time they say something, he adjusts himself. It is through that he was able to find his way, because each time the media says some BS about him, he readjusts himself. Alright, let's see here. Like Tina and Michelle used to say, leave Meghan alone. Only if they had listened to Tina and Michelle, there was absolutely no reason for the British media to go this far on Meghan. Now, let it burn. They asked for it. Okay, I will create a system wherein only the monarch and the heir were giving titles. The heir will not be made a prince or princess until their 30th birthday, and all of the royal children will receive equal treatment and normal education. Okay, there's one comment under that. Okay, and the other young children will all be raised with the expectation that they will be private citizens with normal careers. I think so too. Okay, it seems like the other monarchies in Europe have done a good job at balancing, at least with the more recent generation. I will also throw in abdication age, let's say 80. Yeah, because at a certain age it's enough. They can't really do much. That sounds good. Okay, I will say 75 or a 10-year term, whichever came later. The problem the Windsors have is there are simply too many of them, and they live and they live a long time. There was simply no need for anyone other than the Queen and Charles to spend decades as minor characters in the monarchy instead of private citizens. I mean, the thing is that if you look at since their existence, the way they do things around the world, so they're trying to keep things in a way where they could still remain in control, but it's falling apart now, and it's due to their own failure and wanting everything for themselves as well. Alright, so much to say about this. Alright, imagine if Margaret had simply been allowed to marry whomever she liked, or if Andrew had simply stayed in the Navy as a boorish officer instead of a disgraced senior royals. Edward will probably still have been a failure. A failure, but at least he could have done so quietly. Edward would probably still have been a failure, but at least he could have done so quietly. Damn, I know that was funny. Okay, LOL. Andrew was in the Navy for 20 years. Isn't it enough? Maybe the Windsors need not to have too many kids, one child or two the most. Not even two, knowing what we know now about Harry and the way they treated him. Only one. And then if there is the aunt or uncle from past, and they could take from these if something were to happen. The lack of the appropriate education really surprised me. I knew Elizabeth didn't really get one, but to realize that 2 generations later Harry was offered a high school education, and that it is crazy to me. Wow, like his future was really not important to them at all. Yeah, I didn't know about that if it wasn't offered to him. Wow, and Harry did pretty well. Prop to him, knowing that not only that they took his mother away, for him to find his way. Okay, let's read whatever's here. Okay, I get the impression Liz wasn't happy at all with the way Charles was raising the boys. I have a thing on that. When it comes with the grandkids, I think the queen take a step back. Okay, but when it comes to her children, like Princess Anne, Andrew, Charles, and Edward, she has a say on that because that's her children. But for the grandkids, I think she leave it up to the parents to do it themselves. That's what I think, and that's what I take away from some of the things that I've seen. And I've said this before on my other channel. Okay, let's see here. Harry loved her company, so it was easy to at least direct him somewhat, but Will was completely out of her reach. Their interaction always gave the vibe that she wasn't impressed. I think so too. And I think when Harry and the Queen sit down and talk, and I think that's where Harry sort of explained things to the Queen. I don't know, but I think the father, Charles, was unreachable, because the mindset that Charles has, he never had any feeling for the kids, both. Okay, I'm sorry to say, I don't think he even had feeling for William as well. So can you imagine for Harry, who's the spare? And so I think Harry took somewhat solace to the Queen, and that's why he has such a great profound respect for the Queen. And yeah, that's what I think. Okay, it seems to me that William liked twirling in the wind. He wanted the title and benefit of king, but not put the work. It was expected that Harry and Meghan would do the work while he reaped the accolades. The thing is that he should have just leave them alone. Don't go on the hate campaign and do all those BS. And not only that, the thing that really pisses, I don't think Harry will ever forgive William for this. The fact that Meghan was suing the paper, and then for William to undermine that, to send people to undercut Meghan's lawsuit.
You just explained, what was the significance on the witness statement from Ed Verity, better known as Ted Verity?
Ted Verity, the editor of the Mail on Sunday, said in his signed witness statement that he had been given information that helped support Associated's case. He said this information came from a senior palace source. He said this information came from a senior palace source.
Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate, and clearly he has cooperated. He would not have cooperated with those lawyers without their definite knowledge.
And he said in his witness statement this was, quote, not gossip or tittle-tattle.
What does that mean?
What it means is that a senior figure,
William and Kate,
in the royal household, according to Mail on Sunday, was passing him information in order to help defeat the Duchess's case.
Got it?
I don't think Harry will ever forgive William for that. Alright, and then because of that, and I think Meghan keep her distance. The two people that somewhat have relationship with Meghan, they both are gone. So Meghan have nothing over there. And at the beginning, like I said in other videos, I think Meghan initially had a good start with Charles, but the nonsense the wife put in Charles' ear pretty much dissipate this particular friendship that could have gone much better. Okay, because I think Charles is very intellect, and when talking to Meghan, to probably whatever conversation Charles had with Meghan, to see that maybe Meghan had something to say about it, knowing that she was so vastly or maybe was aware of that particular topic. So Charles was probably fascinated by that, and guess who ruined it? The wife. Okay, the wife ruined that, and then Charles never recovered from that, and it's been whatever. Okay, because when you think about it, knowing what I know now, that it was Meghan who asked Charles to walk her halfway down the aisle. Okay, so which means Meghan had a good positive vibe with Charles, and then not knowing the nonsense that was going in the background. And the nonsense that was going in the background, I truly, now knowing what I know now, I don't think Charles knew anything about it. However, the wife probably knew, William knew, definitely. Okay, so I have to give credit where credit is due. With what I initially thought about Charles, I don't think Charles had anything to do with that, because if Meghan felt confident enough to ask Charles to walk her down the aisle, so there was, I think Meghan read him pretty good. Okay, I'm really going with Meghan's decision on that. Okay, but the wife and the brother, okay, had something to do with all of the smear campaign that was going on. Okay, they probably the one who pretty much, you know, funded that hate. Right, let's see here. Did I finish with it? It seemed to me William liked trolling. Okay, we'll do the work. Yeah, if they just sit down and let Harry and Meghan do the work, they will be being applauded now. But the thing is that from the get-go, Meghan told them she doesn't mind being in the background.
For me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far.
Got it?
Is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact.
With that statement alone tells me Harry sort of gave Meghan a hint, the hierarchy of the institution. Okay, knowing the fact that she's not the, Harry and Meghan are not gonna be the major player in here. Okay, so this is why, this is the takeaway that I get from that. Okay, Harry probably already give Meghan a little hint. Okay, there's a hierarchy here. We're not gonna be the major player here. My brother is, or my father is, my grandmother is, this kind of thing. We stay in the background. So, you know, they twisted Meghan's word, thinking that she's gonna take over the institution and all of that, when Meghan literally told them, I'm gonna be, I don't mind being in the background,
even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far,
to maximize her potential to help the firm. But they didn't get that. If those two idiots,
William and Kate,
who sat next to her, would have listened and caught that, and then they know they're freaking lazy as hell, they should take that as a positive for them. Okay, when they want to do something, or if Harry and Meghan had an idea, the only thing I will say is ask Meghan, what do you need so I could put the word out for you to get the help that you need. That way, and respond. Okay, in retrospect, once the project is done, just let me go take credit for it. I don't know, that's what I would say. Jeez, but look at her, what is it, her initial baby brain thing still never take off. She keep on talking about it, nothing of result come about it. Okay, excellent idea. The case of rulership versus leadership. Can we call out the cold hard truth? You shouldn't set up a leadership structure when the person calling all the shots is your grandma. Sorry, I love grandmas, but they make crappy CEOs with no sense of foresight or understanding of employees' need. Yeah, in a way, but the thing is that, let's see, Harry, for instance, I've said this. Harry was voice of reasoning. All the people they hired to pretty much help her make a decision, they weren't really telling her the truth in the beginning for her to make proper decision. But Harry was the only one who was voice of reasoning over there. And look what they did. They divide the brothers and then they kick him out of there. So Harry was the voice of reasoning. Shady people is running the place, but they prefer shady people because the business people in the UK are benefiting from the shady institution. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. That's my reading of all the nonsense that's going on. Alright, next tweet. The last time Meghan Markle was seen or heard was in December 6, 2022. So when did Marjorie Wallace see Meghan play the victim? Why are British tabloid, the royal family, and their mouthpieces attacking the Duchess of Sussex even when she is silent? Stop it, Charity saying. Okay, who is that? Charity saying. Changing mental health for good. Need to talk or say, I don't know. Anything that has to do with mental health in the UK, I don't know. They're not there to help. I don't know. Stop it. Okay, let's see here. I don't think playing the victim helps. Founder of mental health charity said Meghan Markle should find ways of living with whatever disability or disadvantage you have after Duchess told of her suicidal thoughts. When was that? The suicidal thought thing came out since 2022, like in the summer of 2022. So why is this back in January 18, 2023? Richard Aiden, they have nothing to talk about. That's probably that. Yeah, what is that? Daily Express? Daily Express, Meghan Markle to stop playing the victim by bleeding mental health charity founder. Oh my god. Oh, now I got it. So the charity founder is saying Meghan is playing the victim, but she is the victim. Oh my god. This person should not be in that position. If this is what I get from this, you should, no matter how much of a mental thing that's going on, you need to assess it before you could give a freaking opinion. Oh my god. Oh my god. Meghan told to stop playing victim by mental health charity founder. Oh my god. This person, if she has a license, she needs to be stripped from that license. Okay, they think eat, sleep, shit, shower, shave, etc. thinking about Meghan Markle. They see their kids and they think she's them. So these people are truly delusional. Okay. What is that? That's a different language. Who wants to write? Okay, who wants to write the book detailing every last attempt to bully Meghan into silence and the connection to the royal family? We know Meghan won't be believed, but I am angry at the complete disregard for human life from someone that pretends to know better. That's what I'm saying. It will soon be me. Okay, now we know charity connection to Marjorie Wallace and Charity saying there should be inquiry into her and this charity. Victim blaming a woman she never met is disgusting. That's what I'm saying. This whoever say whatever it says and then to be in a position to help people. Oh, she follows. Who's that? Okay, she follows me. Who's that? Is it? Yeah, this one follows me. No, not that one. So it's this person. Okay, never mind. Do they need to be this obvious in their hate? They should be embarrassed. Okay, I found the podcast and plan to listen to it. Oh my god, which is podcast? The way these people piss me off. Oh my lord, this is crazy. Okay, I'm almost an hour and I have 5 more tweets.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.